Scotty, beam me up.
Smash.
Get over here. It is pointless to resist.
My most perfect creation! Gee, I'll have to do something about that face.
Introducing Spooky Goop, horrifying monster makeup you make up at home. Spooky Goop's bubbling lizard lips, bat bones, and toad toes create a ghoulish goo that makes a monster out of you.
Now that's a face no mother could love.
Spooky Goop, spine-tingling makeup for Halloween or any unearthly occasion.
Introducing Chelada.
Yes. Tostitos brand has a new flavor.
Isn't that sweet?
No, zesty. New chilaba. I thought you liked some.
How did you know?
I thought you like exciting Mexican seasonings on a crispy chip.
We do think alike.
Try 'em.
If you insist.
New Chelada flavor. Pepper, spices, and a touch of sour cream.
You like this new flavor, Fester?
It's very tasty.
Oh, hey, we're gonna go to the graveyard. Oh.
Alrighty. It's our Halloween special. I forgot to put my ears up.
Nice.
Happy Halloween. Recording it about a week and a half out, but fuck it.
Taking a break. It's all good.
Yeah, we need a break. There's been a lot of changes in the den. But hey, we've got Mr. Todd Staruch here with us. How you going, sir?
What is up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Saw you on our buddy Chris Styles' show a couple weeks ago, and I figured he's a horror guy. We got a Halloween special. Let's grab him.
Hey, yeah, it's all good in the hood, man. Chris is a good guy. I had a lot of fun on his show. He, talked about Nightmare on Elm Street, which ones we liked, which ones we didn't like. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I'll be on there tomorrow talking about Leprechaun. So
sweet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Very cool.
Fun. It's been a while since I've been on his show. So let's talk about some of the stuff you're into. Scares That Care. You got a charity going on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Scares That Care is a horror-themed charity based out of Maryland that was founded by a good friend of mine named Joe Ripple. And the idea behind it is to kind of change the image of the horror community and say, like, we're not just about like gore and violence and stuff. We're actually a pretty cool group of people, and we care about others. And when I go to a Scares That Care event, I hear that more than anything else. People will say, wow, horror people are really nice. And I'm like, right? I know, right? So what I love about the charity is it's 100% volunteer. Like, no one draws a salary or anything. All the money we collect goes to running the charity and to giving money to the people we adopt. So each year we pick 4 recipients. We'll find someone fighting breast cancer, someone who was the victim of a burn incident of some kind, and then we'll find 2 children who have some sort of a critical illness, whether it's cancer or some other, whatever, some brutal kind of illness. And we'll raise money throughout the year, and then we present each of our adoptees a check for $10,000.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, towards whatever they need. So I'm one of the New Jersey state reps for the charity. So I run various events throughout the year to raise money. And every year I run a fundraiser and toy drive first Friday in December to benefit Scares That Care.
That's
and
awesome.
We always do really well. We'll raise a few $1,000s and we'll collect 150 or 200 toys and then distribute them, like, to maybe we'll go to shelters in New Jersey or wherever, you know, to try to help kids, you know, needy kids have a little bit better Christmas than they ordinarily would.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, I am so grateful that I even found out about Scares That Care like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been an honor to work with them.
Yeah, that sounds like a great program for sure. Like I'm gonna have to look into them a little more because that just sounds amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great.
Yeah,
work.
we have our own horror convention every year, end of July, down in Williamsburg, Virginia. And it's like any other convention, you know, we have vendors, we have celebrities, we have autographs, we have panels, but the vibe is so much different because of the spirit of the convention. You know, I've been going to cons for 25 years and they become big business, you know, as you guys know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to a convention, you stand online for an hour, the celebrity scribbles their name, hands you the picture, you fork over your money and you walk away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The vibe at Scares That Care is much different. Yeah, people are collecting money to make to sell autographs, but just because it's in the spirit of raising money for charity, it's just a much better vibe.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Go to scaresthatcare.org. Anyone who's interested, and all the info is there. So we do that convention, and for the first time ever this year, we're doing another convention in April called Scares That Care AuthorCon.
Oh.
And it's a convention just to celebrate the literary word.
Nice.
So
awesome.
all of the guests are going to be well-known horror authors, you know, selling their books and, you know, doing readings and panels and stuff. Because at Scares That Care, we treat our authors on the same level as any other celebrity guest, you know, and we really go out of our way to promote them. So Joe Ripple thought, you know what, why not just have a convention celebrating just literature? So far, like, it's doing well. I think we are down. We've only got like 2 vendor tables left or something like that. It's been a rousing success so far. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that sounds like something that would get a dork like me back into reading. Like, I'm not a reader. Like, I'll read Stephen King all day, though. Like, he's my guy.
Oh, there's a whole nother world out there. Some of them are just...
Oh, I know there's a whole nother world. I've never got myself to delve into it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It's hard, you know, I work a lot of hours in my real job. So, and at night, you know, I'm like nodding off, but I discovered the world of audiobooks. And it's amazing because the trip to Virginia to see my daughter is 6 hours each way. So I'll download an audiobook. The author still gets paid. And I can listen to it, you know, to pass the time. And I never thought I'd enjoy it. My mom, before she passed away, was really into audiobooks because her eyesight got really bad.
Right.
And that was when they were on cassettes and CDs.
Right.
You know, now it's on my phone or I download it to the car.
Oh man, technology.
Right?
Incredible.
Yeah.
But it's scary, like, because I say it all the time. There's an entire movie franchise explaining why you shouldn't have AI in your house. It's called Terminator. There's 6 fucking movies.
I'm an IT consultant. I work specifically in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
And I am astonished that people will say that they're worried about privacy, but then they will have devices in their house that literally listen to everything that they say.
The same people have an Alexa sitting in the corner of the room.
And then they're amazed, like, I was looking at my phone and it came up with an ad for Toyotas. And that's so weird. And I'm like, dummy, like, you probably, you know, we're talking about it.
Yep.
And Alexa heard you, and there you go.
Well, I've had that happen when I was just thinking about it. So I'm like, okay, wait a second.
Oh, that's weird.
I was like, well, wait, I know I got my second COVID shot and everything, but come on.
They hacked your brain.
There's something there that hacks me now. I'm almost a firm believer. not quite. But Grindhouse Nights Film Festival. You got your logo there behind you. It's pretty badass. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, yeah. So Grindhouse Nights is the festival that the horror festival, that film festival that I run, and the idea of it started more than 10 years ago. A good friend of mine named Rob Dimension, he's a filmmaker, an entertainer, he's a former professional wrestler.
Heard of him.
He ran this thing called the PA New Jersey Horror Club, and we would meet in the back room of a comic book store down near Philly, and we would just watch like a couple of indie horror films and then just sit and discuss, you know?
Yeah.
And we would just talk about the films, and sometimes we'd have like a guest artist or, you know, something like that. Then that kind of broke up because for the New Jersey people, it was like a 2-hour ride. And I said, well, maybe I'll think about doing something in New Jersey. So about a year later, a couple of friends of mine from Queens did an awesome slasher movie called The Turnpike Killer. And my friend here in New Jersey owns a bar, a restaurant, and a lounge. And we went there for my birthday, and he looked at the lounge, and they have all these TVs on every wall. And he's like, this would be a great place to watch a movie. And I'm like, maybe it would. So we did a screening of The Turnpike Killer there. And I was like, okay, how many people? It's going to be like 6 of us sitting in this fucking restaurant. And like 20-something people showed up. So I said this maybe could be a thing, you know? And originally it was called Grindhouse Nights at Cafe Z, which was the name of the restaurant. We outgrew that. So we moved to a bigger venue a few years ago. That place went out of business. They were a unfortunate victim of COVID. And now we're back next year. It's our 10th anniversary. It's April 2022. We have a new venue, Crossroads in Garwood, New Jersey. And we're psyched. What sets us apart is we're not just the kind of festival where you sit, you watch a bunch of movies, we hand out some awards at the end, and everybody kind of goes home. We in between our horror blocks, we have live entertainment. We might have a heavy metal singer, a burlesque dancer, a belly dancer, a comedian, a magician, whatever. So we have live entertainment throughout the day. I have a group of models called the Grindhouse Girls that they mix and mingle with the fans, take pictures and stuff like that. We do a prize raffle to raise money for Scares That Care. So we like to say we put on an event, you know, more than just a film festival. So
sounds like a lot of fun.
It's been almost 2 years, so we're very psyched to be back in the saddle again for next year.
I can only imagine the itch you got, like, just to get back to normal with that kind of stuff, because it's been so long.
Yeah, man, it really is. The whole COVID-19 thing is just, I never thought it would be something that we'd be living through, you know, this sort of a pandemic. You look back now and, you know, I don't even want to get into it really. It's neither here nor there. It is what it is. Yeah. But, you know, there were times where people were predicting that something like this might happen, and they're like, whatever. Yeah. And now here it is, and we're dealing with it. But, you know, speaking of microchipped, I got my booster shot actually yesterday. So now I'm triple tracked. And I did have some side effects today. I kind of felt a little sick. But it's weird now. I can smell colors, which I think is kind of weird. So,
all right.
But other than that, I'm good. So, I'm psyched to kind of be coming out of this and to get the festival back up and running again.
For sure. Yeah, because not that I went to too many movie theaters anyway because of my social anxiety, but I have yet to even try to go to a movie theater since this all started. Because our theater here in town, like, when everything started easing back open last summer, they were playing old movies from the 80s and the 90s, like Back to the Future and Gremlins. And it was great. I never was able to go because they were only doing it on weekends, and I'm a cook.
Yeah.
So, but, like, eventually I'd like to, you know, get back into the movie theater because it's just been so long. and all the movies have been released digitally now. It's
Yeah.
kind of like how I'm getting my music now. Like,
Yeah.
the past 2 years, a lot of bands haven't been able to tour. So what are they going to do? They're going to be writing. They're going to be recording.
Yeah.
And so we got a lot of new music. We got a lot of new movies too, but we didn't get the experience of the new movies.
Yeah.
Like getting waiting in line for a ticket. So just to see that coming back, and then things like this, film festivals, and but film events, I guess would be the proper terminology here for Grindhouse nights. But
yeah, man. So I only recently started going back to the movie theater. I was not what you might call like a COVID extremist, really, but I do have some underlying health issues, so I was very careful. I didn't really go to any crowded places, but we live in an era of technology, so AMC Theaters is great. I can look at the app and say, oh, well, there's not too many seats booked for this movie. Right. So I'll go and I'll just sit far away from people. So I've seen a couple of movies in the theater recently, and it was great, I don't mind watching at home. I know a lot of people are kind of against that, but we were trending in that direction anyway, and then COVID kind of just pushed it over the edge.
Kind of just gave it the extra
it was
boost.
only a matter of time, but COVID gave it like the boost it needed. It was like rocket fuel.
Right. And look, I love the theater. I still love the theater experience.
I
me
really
do. But if it's like, I can still see a big budget movie and maybe not die. Like, okay, I'm down.
Yeah, I can watch a brand new movie on my TV. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to deal with people. I'm down.
Right.
Yep, I'm in.
Right. Yeah, and you get some friends over, and you order some food and some booze or whatever,
a couple
and
pizzas,
you just chill.
You're
right. It's great.
Yeah, you can make your own movie night at home.
Exactly.
And if you have to pay for the movie, just have everybody pitch in like $5.
Bingo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
Like, hell, you do that for road trips.
Do it for road trips. I used to do it back in the day when I used to watch. Before it totally went to shit. I used to watch a lot of boxing.
Oh yeah.
So I'd get like 10 or 12 people together. We'd kick in money for food and for the pay-per-view, and there we go. So
yep, we used to do that for WrestleMania.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But now we do watch parties.
Right.
We set up something like this and just talk shit and have a good time.
Yeah, look, again, man, nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
I'm a fairly sociable person, so whether it's in person or on a Zoom like this or something, so what? Like,
We've actually started doing Mystery Science Theater type thing where we dive into the public domain and pull out some garbage and we watch it and we record while we're watching and while we're talking shit. We'll post it up. So we've done what? 2 movies so far, Craig?
2.
Yep. Reefer Madness and Night of the Living Dead.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, Reefer Madness is always a good one to riff.
Oh my god. That was. And it took like 4 takes because we kept finding ones with ads.
Yeah.
We had to keep starting over.
Right.
We were just rehashing the same material up until we got past a certain point in the movie where we could be like, okay, now we can do more stuff.
Yeah, man.
Still learning.
So if you're watching this and you have a film you want to submit, you can find Grindhouse Nights Film Festival on Film Freeway. We're accepting submissions now. And you can go to grindhousenightsfilmfest.com for all the kind of information about it, which I have to update that site one of these days. But everything you really need is there,
Yeah.
So yeah, we're kind of stoked.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, when did you say that film festival was again?
Well, so here's the problem, guys. Because the universe has a good sense of humor. My original dates, I got hosed because a major New Jersey horror convention scheduled their spring event the same exact weekend. And they also have a film fest attached to their event. And like 80% of the people I know, including myself, go to that convention. So my audience would be siphoned off, you know.
Yep.
So I'm working with the venue now to come up with new dates, but it's looks like it's going to be like April 22nd and 23rd of next year. I'll let you guys know. Let me check that right now. It's almost certainly the 23rd and 24th. It's almost certainly going to be the 23rd and 24th. But
at least that's the aim.
You can find it on Film Freeway and on the web, grindhousenightsfilmfest.com. As soon as I know the dates, I will update them there, and I'll make an announcement on my social media and everything, as soon as I lock in the new dates. But man, that was like a kick in the face when they posted their dates for next year. I was like, oh no. And this particular con is always in March. For like the last 7 years, it's been in March. So I did my event in April thinking I'd be safe.
Nope.
Nope. But that's the life of an event promoter, like shit comes up and you gotta just figure it out,
I totally understand. I used to put on shows and stuff back in high school, so I have a whole bunch of bands come out and be like, hey, can you guys come out this weekend? No, we're playing this festival in New Jersey. All right. See you next month.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Well, hell, we run into it doing this. There's been a couple times I've been like, hey, can you guys like be on the show? And, it's festival season.
Yeah, we got a lot of that so far.
Yeah, but what can you do? It comes with the territory.
Hey, listen, I'm here. So there we go.
Hey, listen. And we're down for anybody coming on the show. If you're watching and you want to be on the show, come on.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
I know, right? And so far, we've had a lot of good luck with our guests. So.
Nice.
Yep. Must be doing something right.
yeah, we got to be doing something right. Touch on one more thing here. The Theater of Terror. Now, did that say you were a former producer there?
Yeah, so the Theater of Terror is my friend Tom Ryan's production, the name of his production company. And I produced a feature-length horror anthology with Tom called The Theater of Terror. And that came out in 2019. Okay. And I was a co-producer on that. Now we are currently in production on the follow-up called Return to the Theater of Terror. And this time around, so there's 4 new short stories, of which I wrote one of them. And I wasn't around for this one, but we just completed production on the 3rd short story. It's our sci-fi story called Robot. And Tom is editing that now, and in a few weeks we'll do like a cast and crew screening. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Tom and I have been good friends for almost 10 years now. We work on a lot of projects together, whether it's under his company or under my company, So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like that, the Theater of Terror was my first big producing gig, and I learned a lot, what goes into producing a feature-length film,
Yeah.
So even at the indie level,
Yep. I've never done anything like that, but I can only imagine what goes into that. Because our friend Rachel, she's a producer, and she's a spitfire.
Well, when people find out, oh, you make movies like Hollywood, and I'm like, no. But it's indie level, low budget, but people don't understand is the process is still the same.
Yeah.
Writing, pre-production, casting, shooting, editing, all of that stuff is the same. We're just doing it all ourselves on a low budget, So there's a million little details, and we all have to wear a lot of hats, I'm not only a producer, I'm also a production assistant. I'm running to get coffee. You know, on a Hollywood production, they have 1,000 minions.
Yeah, they have gophers to go grab coffee. And they have a gopher specifically for coffee, one specifically for donuts, one specifically.
Yeah.
Nope. On the indie level, get your own damn coffee.
That's it, man. You know? Oh, where's craft services? Well, there's a box of donuts. There's a box of donuts over there. You can help yourself.
Yeah, it's like I mean, Mikey went to Dunkin' here before.
Yeah. Like,
got some coffee,
craft
donuts,
services.
Yeah. You know, we're going to Subway for lunch, maybe. You know?
Right. That's what it is, man. Like. But it's so much fun. It's a lot of work.
That's all that matters.
So much fun.
That's all that matters in the end of it. It's like being in a band, you know. Sure, you're not making millions of dollars, but as long as you're having fun, that's all that really matters in the long run.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I people ask me questions about indie film scene all the time, and I'm like, look, I'm just gonna tell you right up front. If you're getting into this with the idea that you're going to make money doing it, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. Yeah. Now, we all want to eventually turn a profit on our productions. Like, I'm not saying we're just playing around here.
Yeah.
But if you think, like all of us, we all have full-time jobs that pay our bills, you know? So if I was relying on the film thing, I'd be homeless.
Fucking A. That's the same thing here. Like, yeah, it's kind of a goal to make this my main gig, but I'm having fun with it right now. So
right. I would love to produce films full time, you know. But look, I'm very fortunate that I have a skill set that allows me to be reasonably well paid, and it allows me to indulge the other stuff that I like to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I consider myself very fortunate.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have a job that I love, like my day job, you know, like it's a job that I have a passion for. So I'm lucky there. And then this project, like one of them, you know what I mean? So, but if I end up with this as our main gig, call me Scrooge McDuck. Because I'm a pig in shit at that point, you know, and I don't even have to leave my house to do this.
It's just hard, man. It's hard to monetize it because, let's face it, everybody's got a film festival now. Everybody's got a podcast. Everybody's got a YouTube channel, you know? And you got to try to figure out, you know, what is going to get you to go viral, what is going to get you to get followers or whatever, you know?
And if at first you don't succeed, just dust yourself off and try it again.
Yeah, you got to just keep going, you know? And again, unless you're doing it because you love it, then why bother, you know? Exactly. Like with the Theater of Terror, we have stories to tell, you know? And we want to put them on film, and we hope people like them.
Absolutely. And I'm sure me and Craig love horror, so I know you got two people that are going to watch them here.
So the Theater of Terror, it's on streaming now. It's on Amazon, it's on Vimeo on demand, it's on I think it's on Verizon Fios on demand. It's a bunch of places now.
Okay,
you know?
awesome.
And you can even, like, if you're into physical media, you can go to theaterofterror.net with it's the British spelling of theater, RD, because we're very fancy. And you can order a physical copy. I know a lot of people are still into physical media.
It's on Tubi.
Nice. There you go.
There we go.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's so, like I said, it's Tom's company. So, and he, you know, we got distribution through Bayview Entertainment. So every once in a while, we'll find out that we're on a new service somewhere, and I'm like, oh, look at that.
Tubi has become like a damn gold mine.
Yeah, Tubi.
Right. Wow. There is so much obscure, rare horror and indie horror on there. You could watch just Tubi for the rest of your natural life.
Exactly, and it's free. These people don't know what they're doing. Like, be more like Tubi.
Got maybe a 90-minute movie, you're looking at maybe 10 minutes worth of commercials.
Yeah, but
that's no different than watching a movie on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like, suck it up. Download Tubi.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
man, look, you can't nothing's free, right? Like I get it. Like I love it when people bitch about ads or whatever. And it's like, well,
They gotta make their money.
Yeah.
Come on. Right.
That movie has provided us with a lot of talking points. To put it nicely, because there's some trash on that. There are some trash movies.
Yes, there is.
Yep.
But we love them all.
It's got like a full Moon Productions library and everything.
Yep, it's got the full spectrum of what you would want in a movie. It's got all
Full
movies.
moon, wow.
Yeah.
Full Moon Production.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Well, the Dude Bro Party Master 3 we just talked to our buddy Corey about. It's one of the movies on Tubi. Like that movie, like what do we surmise it? It's so horrible that it's great. Because it was meant to be horrible. Like they meant so, and I mean,
Look,
they
man,
did it
I
right.
love shit horror. I really do.
So do
I have a group of friends. We've been getting together for more than 25 years to watch horror movies. And we have watched some pure garbage. But as long as the movie is aware that it's garbage, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's when people think they made a serious movie and it's
just
unintentionally
pure.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, come on, guys. Like, did you even try?
Yeah.
There, I don't know if you've seen it. There's a movie. I don't know if it's on Tubi, but we watched it on Amazon. It's called Attack of the Killer Donuts.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
Dude, it is fucking awesome. C. Thomas Howell is in it.
Okay, you sold me.
Yep. And one of the chicks from The Flash is in it, the TV show. And dude, it is the best. There's one scene where I would have given anything to be on set that day. I really would have. And they know exactly that what the movie is supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. If you like campy stuff like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, it's the same idea.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love a good campy horror movie.
Yeah, so
especially one with
right there.
Donuts is the villain.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a masterpiece of shit, as Chris Styles likes to say.
Yeah.
That's become one of our favorite phrases here. Because we watch a lot of them.
Yeah.
I prefer the trash horror anymore because horror is done like in a
it's so
really
predictable
weird direction
anymore.
lately.
Exactly.
Very predictable.
Yep.
That's why we're gonna beat this horse forever, Craig. You and I. That's why Terrifier will remain one of the best horror movies of the modern age. For me and Craig.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see the look on your face. You're like, really?
So look. I met the guys that made that movie and the people that were in it. They are awesome. Like they are super nice people. I interviewed them at the last New Jersey HorrorCon. They're great people. And I am so happy that they had success with that movie. I truly am. I didn't hate it. I really didn't. I just personally don't think it's as great as some horror fans seem to think it was. Like where they literally were tripping over themselves praising the movie. And I'm like, okay, come on, you know. But the guys that made it will even admit that. They're like, look, we had no budget, you know, we did what we could and we understand it has a lot of flaws. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Terrifier 2 because they raised a lot of money to make that movie.
Yes, they did.
And they already told me, like, now we made the movie that we really wanted to make. So I hope they do well. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will, because, like, what I mean by, like, what I said there was, like, for me, like, it just, like, Craig can tell you the same thing. It just completely turned horror around for us.
Yeah,
like with all the flaws and everything, like I think that added to it, honestly.
I would have to say like new horror for me, you know what I mean? Because there's so much out there, but like it really swayed me back into trash movies, to be honest, because like everything was coming out at the same time and everything was like you can't trust your neighbor or like realism throughout the entire movie.
Right.
Yeah. So it really brought me back on the path of like watching new movies that are trash instead of just like reliving the old one.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Look, I just want to be clear. Like,
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
you-
knocking the movie at all.
Oh yeah.
If anything, it's more like some of the fans that were like going
Yeah.
overboard about the movie.
Overhyped.
Like the
Yeah.
guy, Damien Leone, who directed it, is a very nice, very humble guy. Like,
Yeah.
so it's not like he was the one, screaming how amazing his movie was, So, but, look, it's got a very creepy villain, a couple of amazing gore set pieces,
And that hacksaw scene.
So, right. So there you go. Like like I said, I didn't hate it. I had fun
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
So
I get what you
I'm
mean for sure.
I'm really looking forward to part 2.
I'm that way with a lot of movies where it's watchable to me. Like I do not hate it, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
lots of people go nuts over it. So I definitely get where you're coming from.
Look, whenever a movie comes out, like, it's so funny, and we're seeing it with Halloween Kills. I look at my social media. Half the people said that it was the most amazing thing that they've seen this year, and the other half said it was complete garbage. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, like, really? Like, now for me, I fall in the middle. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
I had fun watching it, and that's
Yeah.
it. Is it going to stick with me for decades? No.
Yeah.
know?
No, it's
But I just find it funny, like, the way people get so polarized. I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Really?
it's like that.
It's the
that with
worst
anything.
movie you've ever seen? Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet as of this recording. I'll probably see it before Halloween. Why not, right? But yeah, like, because I don't like to listen to the hype behind certain things. Like
Yeah,
Terrifier was one of those movies. It took me until this year to even see it. And
Yeah.
it came out 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Because everybody was like, dude, you got to see Terrifier. You got to see Terrifier. Got to see Terrifier. And I was just like, I'm not going to see it if you keep feeding it into me. Like, I just don't respond well to that. And like, I tend to ignore hype and form my own opinion, no matter what the movie is. Like whether I think I'm gonna like it or not. And then so Halloween Kills, it's like I haven't seen the last, aside from the Rob Zombie movies, last like 3 or 4 of them. So I don't know if I'll be missing
So you
anything.
didn't see you didn't see the one before this, the
No.
2018?
No.
You need to watch that first
Okay.
before you watch this one.
All
Yeah.
right.
Because they are definitely tied together.
Okay.
Yeah, and
It's gotta be a
that-
trilogy,
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
I've
love
been
that
meaning
part.
to.
Like, I didn't. Once again, I'm in the middle like you. Like I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, but it was a good continuation of a story that I do love. You know what I mean? Like I've seen Halloween I don't know how many times, and it is a good continuation no matter what people say. Like I hear a lot about the acting in it, but if you watch a Halloween movie, the acting has always been bad. Like it's never been like top notch.
That's any horror movie though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like any
Look,
horror
unless
movie.
unless you're talking about The Silence of the Lambs or The Exorcist,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which won Academy Awards, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you, man. Like, just take it for what it is. It's a horror. It's a slasher movie.
People are gonna die.
Yeah.
What are you expecting?
The whole point of this movie. That's the whole point. Like,
I think
People are just gonna
technology
start-
and like being able to converse with people all around the world is a real downer because you know what I mean. Like, I'm used to the horror genre, like picking at each other and arguing jokingly and things like that. People get way too serious about it anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of rips the
And
fun out
look,
of
man,
it.
it's always everything is always fueled by hate lately on the internet, especially horror fans, right?
Yeah.
Three current examples: Halloween Kills, The Munsters, and The Batman, which is not really horror, obviously.
right.
Yeah.
So Halloween Kills comes out, everybody hates it. A still photo of the Rob Zombie's The Munsters comes out, and people are rioting in the streets.
Yeah.
The
For
trailer
one
the-
reason. Sherry Moon Zombie.
I get that.
Yeah, I do
I
too.
get that. I'm not a fan,
Right.
but by the same token, we're already forming an opinion about a whole movie based on one publicity still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like give the guy his fair shake.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm not. That's one of those movies where I'm not going to be in a rush to see it. When it's streaming for free, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Only because I don't like to talk about things that I haven't seen. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? And then the trailer for the Batman came out and people hate that. I'm like, do you people like anything other than like people, so many horror fans are just trapped in the 80s. Like the only thing they like is Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, and that's it. Like, and Hellraiser.
Yeah.
I don't want to go outside my box. It's scary out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That's what Terrifier did for me, because I was stuck in like 80s and 90s B movies, and I wouldn't go any further. And when I saw that, I was like, there really is still something going on in horror. It's not just like blockbuster movies about, you know, because when video stores went away, it kind of got hard to find the underground movies, and then Prime came around and you got more, but it brought me back.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. And listen, God bless streaming services like Tubi and Shudder, you know, and Pluto, you know, and things like that, because I'll be flipping through and I'm like, oh my God, I have to watch that movie based on the title alone. Like, holy shit.
That's how I was with Deathgasm.
Yeah, right.
I was like, Deathgasm. Okay, play.
Yeah. So my movie group, right? We show up at my buddy's house and he goes, okay, I think we should start off tonight. He holds up this movie and it's called African Kung Fu Nazis. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, put that shit on right now.
Fucking A, right? That's how.
And it was everything you thought it would be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
African
Right?
Kung Fu Nazis.
African Kung Fu Nazis.
How can people? Okay, I got to touch back on the Batman trailer real quick, because how can people hate that? I thought that was brilliant.
People are gonna.
I thought so too. Like, look, so a guy that I know, I don't know him real well. He's kind of just a social media friend, right? So he posts the trailer and he says, "Oh my God, stop reimagining Batman." And I'm like, the comics have been reimagining Batman for 80 years. I mean, they retcon that shit all the time. Like, have you read Gotham by Gaslight or anything like that? Like, give me a break. Like, look, I love the Michael Keaton Batman movies as much as anybody.
He's my Batman.
It was 1989. Like, come on. Like,
however,
let's give it a shot.
I have heard a rumor of Michael Keaton coming back as a retired Bruce Wayne. So,
dude, that would be worth the price of admission alone. You know, like. Look,
I think if they did it right, sure.
Again, I'm just going to wait for the movie to come out. I just want to see Batman kicking ass with cool gadgets and a cool car. I like the way the car looks. It's a little more grounded in reality, right? Instead of looking like a cartoon. I thought the car looked cool, you know.
I thought it looked amazing. As soon as it came, like they showed the Batmobile, I was like, ooh,
right.
It's like, oh, that's a sexy Batmobile.
Right.
Okay.
And the whole idea is it's supposed to be like a younger Bruce Wayne who's still kind of learning to be Batman. So it's like an early version of the Batmobile before it looks like a bat or anything, you know.
But since you put it that way, it's kind of like picking up where Gotham left off almost.
Yeah.
Because I love that series.
Me too.
And I wanted to see more when it ended. And maybe this could be the continuation that we're looking for. Who knows?
Again, just like anything else, it's
gotta wait to see.
People.
Just gotta wait to see.
Most of the shit in the trailer may never even make it into the final cut of the film. So, whatever.
But I do know that trailer has me intrigued.
Me too. I'm looking forward to it.
When they announced Robert Pattinson at first, I was just like,
yeah.
I was like, it's not Ben Affleck.
Well, see, so here I like Ben Affleck. I thought he was the best thing about Justice League and Batman versus Superman.
I have yet to see those movies too.
Okay. Robert Pattinson, see, it's unfair that people hold Twilight against him. That was
I don't.
just a gig.
I've seen
You know what
his
I mean?
other works. It's just
He's actually a very good actor.
fantastic.
Like, if you watch his indie stuff, he's a really, really good actor.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie he did with Willem Dafoe called The Lighthouse?
Yes, it's
That
amazing.
Yeah, like it's a mindfuck of a movie, but it's great.
Yeah.
And
the only thing I am not thrilled about is kind of the long hair, emo looking Bruce Wayne in the Batman.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like a playboy, like a billionaire playboy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't crazy about that, if I'm being honest. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, that kind of threw me off a little bit, but I'm still pretty excited to see it.
Yeah. I'm just like, please, God, don't show us the origin story.
Yeah, no, we've seen that so many fucking times.
1,000 times.
And
we all know how it happens. We all know.
Yeah.
We do. We don't need to see it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't show us that again. We're just tired of it. That's all. We know. His parents are dead. Woo! But why don't we go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into some more horror movies and stuff.
All right, sweet.
Hi, I'm a Boglin. Me and my buddies want to be your friend, right, guys? Right. Call us at 1-900-909-5464 and hear how we can protect you from ferocious beasts. And help you teach your grade your math test. Yeah, new story every day. One call gets you a 3D Boglin hologram like this. 4 calls get you a set of 6. Trade them with your buddies. And part of your $2.35 2-minute call goes to Special Olympics. So get your parents' permission and call us at 1-900-909-5464. Go get the phone. I said get it, not eat it.
I must select one of you to be the first person in history to set foot on Venus. Does anyone have anything to say before I make my decision?
Almond Joy. It speaks well of you. It says you were smart enough to choose a bar with no artificial ingredients that's wholesome as well as delicious.
I can only take one of you back to Earth with me. Who should it be?
Almond Joy. It speaks well of you, naturally.
What's up, guys? Greasy Spoon. It's All Hallows Eve, October 30th. And I'm recording some shit for our Halloween special to finish it off. And I am in the area, I believe, of what used to be called the Great Island Cemetery, which is, it's not a cemetery anymore. As you can see, I am walking along a row of houses, and this is the main drag here in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, Belfont Avenue. This is my hometown, and I never knew about this shit, but from what I can tell, I believe I'm in the area now, because it's roughly between Burger King and a street that I used to live on called South Fairview Street, but I don't know if you guys can see it. It's an apartment building, it looks like. Used to be called Great Island Cemetery, and what they did, poltergeist style, was they removed some of the bodies, and then some of them they didn't. So somewhere in this area along this stretch of road, there's a mass of bodies buried that was never taken care of, and one of them is a pretty famous criminal by the name of John Michael Conley, an Irish immigrant to the area in the early 1800s. He was shot in 1820 alongside his partner, Robert Lewis, and I guess they wreaked havoc on this area, for this part of the country, for quite a while, a good 10 years in the early 1800s, until they were shot. I'm going to have to read the story. I even put a link to it in the description of the video because it's an interesting story, but that's just part one of some of the Lock Haven stories. I'm about to go down the road and tell you another pretty interesting one about how this city is basically just one giant Indian burial ground. I should say native burial ground, my bad. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this little tale. I got more coming, so stay tuned. I hope you're enjoying our Halloween special too. Stay tuned for the drawing of the winner of our Terrifier comic contest. Peace.
Oh, hey, we're gonna go to the grave. graveyard. Oh.
Yeah, all right, and we're back. So, one of the ideas I wanted, like, coming into this Halloween episode, I wanted to kind of delve into what Halloween means to each of us, like individually, like whether it be as a kid or even now, or as a kid till now. Like, what does Halloween? Greg, we'll start with you.
I think
What does
Halloween
mean to you?
I think it meant much more to me as a kid. Like, I still like decorating. I still like taking the kids trick-or-treating, but it was almost like magical as a kid around Halloween time. You know what I mean? Because, like, you got out of school, you got to go get candy the rest of the night, and around here, like, they do trick-or-treating on different days, so you'd probably get an entire weekend full of candy from going to different areas and trick-or-treating. And you know what I mean? Like, I grew up on Monsters, and there was always Halloween specials on, and everybody had one, and I don't know, they just don't do it like they used to.
Yeah, no.
Maybe it's because I'm an adult now, but
yeah, they say stuff like that kind of loses its magic as you grow, but I don't know. For me, it kind of always remained the same. Like, when I was a kid, it was the only time I really got to see one of my favorite uncles.
Yeah.
Because we would always go to his neighborhood on Halloween, go trick-or-treating.
Yeah, we did that a lot too.
Yep. And then we'd go around, see old family friends and stuff while I'm in my costume, whatever it was.
Yep.
And then, you know, they're the
it
ones
was
that
like a
spoiled
big
with
event.
giant candy bars and everything like that.
Yeah. It was like a big stressful event for parents, and it's not that way anymore. Like, because kids have like fairy costumes and stuff now. There's no like makeup or anything like that going on, you know.
Oh, I would go full bore. Like, when after I turned 8 years old, I was like, Mom, I want to be this, and that. Like, and it was all like heavy makeup jobs.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite costumes, though, because they were the most gruesome.
Yep.
Yeah, well, so for me, like, it's much more, I was much more into it as a kid. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister, so there's a lot of us.
Right. Yeah.
And we would go trick-or-treating in my neighborhood, get an ass load of candy. Then my dad would take us to the next town over where my grandmother lived, and we would trick-or-treat again. We would have more candy than, like, I can't even describe it, you know? And it was different back then. Like, this was long before parents were so afraid, you know, that we were either going to get poisoned or kidnapped or molested or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, like, even on my block, hardly anybody has their light on anymore on Halloween for trick-or-treaters, you know?
Yeah.
And look, we talked about this, I think, before you started recording. Like, people assume because I'm a horror guy, Halloween must be my favorite holiday. It's not. Christmas is.
Yeah.
But I still like Halloween. I like that people are into it. You know, I like when adults have a Halloween party. I think that's cool. You know, that people put effort into it. Or, you know, there's some houses near my house that go overboard for Halloween, and I think that's really cool. You know, when people are into it. So, anything is what you make of it.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like I said, for me, I am much more into Christmas as an adult.
Yeah.
But I'll drive around the neighborhood and check out the decorations and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's freaking cool.
Yeah.
You know? Have some fun with it.
Yep, just right down the street from my house. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's people that I call them the Griswolds because at Halloween time they always have big extravagant like this Halloween displays, and then at Christmas time, you know, it looks like Clark Griswold just exploded.
That's my house at Christmas.
Yeah.
You can see it from space.
Right. The nuclear plant has to switch to auxiliary power.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, I'm more towards Christmas myself as an adult, but like Halloween still holds a place in my heart just because of all the memories I have.
Oh yeah.
You know, growing up, for sure. Like, and Halloween was the time I was exposed to the movie that scarred me for life. And I've talked about it a million times on this show. I'm going to mention it again. People Under the Stairs. I still have trouble with a dark basement, but it's one of my favorite movies, like, as a result.
Dude, I am completely messed up because of the movies I've been watching my whole life.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't like. So look, man, I am fucked up. Like, I can't sleep with my closet door open. and I can't sleep with any part of my body hanging off the edge of the bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh God, no, that's just crazy. Like, yeah, like no.
Yeah.
If I wake up and my arm is hanging off the edge of the bed, I have a real dilemma now, because if I stay still, maybe the monsters won't notice me. But if I move, they will definitely notice me. So what do? I no.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do
messed up.
basements in the dark. I'm always running up the steps, and if we go out on the porch for a cigarette, no, forget it. Light comes on.
Yeah, I have to, like, out of my mom's house especially, I have to turn the light on outside.
Yeah.
Because it's just pitch fucking black otherwise.
Yeah.
It lives out in the middle of nowhere.
My ex-wife, my daughter's 16 now, but my ex still gets pissed at me because when my daughter was younger, she'd be like, Dad, I'm like, what? I think there's a monster under my bed. And I'm like, well, then let's get the hell out of here. Like, what are we waiting for? Like, and my wife would be like, oh my God, will you stop that shit? And I'm like, well, I'm not looking under there. What if there is no?
You're running down the hall, you hear the shotgun load.
Yeah.
It's like, well, come on over here and sit on the couch with me. You're not going upstairs now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, I guess we have to burn the house down to the ground. Okay. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Look, I like I said, it's all good, man. I know I have friends who are really, really into Halloween.
Yeah.
And good for them. You know, they have a lot of fun with it, and it's awesome.
Yeah, Halloween can be fun if you put the effort into it, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think for me it's more horror movies than Halloween, but like, you know, that's the time everybody comes alive, and there's still kind of magic in the air, I guess, even as an adult a little bit, but it's mainly for horror movies. It's not for like the act of Halloween.
As an adult, Halloween became special to me, being able to take my kids out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and I was still able to dress up and do my thing, and nobody would, you know, look at me weird being the weird looking dad with the 2 kids. You know, 'cause otherwise, because normally I'd just go out wearing whatever the fuck I want with my kids.
Yeah, exactly. It was the one night I could
weird looks. Like, this is who I am. Get over it.
No, dude, don't get me wrong. So this weekend I'm driving down to Virginia because my daughter and I are going to go to King's Dominion for their Halloween, the Halloween thing that they do. They have all these mazes and haunted houses and stuff.
Oh, I know.
We cannot wait for that.
Craig knows exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I work at a haunt right now at a theme park.
Oh, cool.
It's owned by the same company.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nice.
Dorney Park.
Yeah.
Working their haunt.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun.
I love stuff like that. I've never done a haunted amusement park though. I want to so bad.
Yeah, she went not last year because it was closed. The year before that, she went with a couple of her cousins, and she's like, "Dad, you got to come down and go to King's Dominion, you know, together." So that's our plan.
That just sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Haunted attractions of any kind can always be fun.
Sure.
Like there's an old schoolhouse here that they do every year. It's called Spook Haven, and they go all out, and it's amazing.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to go to this place called the Haunted Woods, and then we went to Jason's Woods too, and places like that. Every year we went to those places.
And Field of Screams is another one.
Yep.
I've heard of that one.
Jason's Woods and both pretty big.
I have a lot of friends who are haunt actors, you know, you know, they also do indie films, so they're cut out for it, you know.
Yeah.
And I like doing makeup and stuff, you know, so yeah, it's fun.
But, I've worked a couple haunts. They're fun.
Yeah.
The worst part is sitting in makeup.
Or when you have to deal with some jackass who thinks he wants to prove how tough he is. You know?
That's when you make them shit their pants. Quite literally.
Yeah.
It was great. It was funny. Boy, the stench.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's funny. Because you always get the guy that's like, don't do it, I told you, don't touch me. And he's the first one to run.
And then you just do,
Yeah.
then you just do the quick little at him, and he screams like a little girl and runs away. It's the best.
That's great.
Now, another thing I wanted to do was, what got you into horror?
Well, when I was a kid, my favorite things to watch, and these are things that I miss from my childhood. On Saturday, on Channel 9, WOR in New Jersey, during the day, they would show kaiju films, you know, Godzilla, Gamera. I got into all that. And then at night, it would be Chiller Theater, you know, the hand coming up out of the ground, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd watch that, you know, and then I had a favorite aunt that would let me watch movies that my mother in 1,000 years would never let me watch, you know.
We all have one.
Right. And one that I clearly remember, it's an old movie. It's from 1965. And it's called Dr. Terror's House of Horrors.
Okay.
And it's a British anthology film with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. And it's about these 5 strangers on a train. And this old man tells each of their fortunes. And of course, things go awry in each person's fortune. And that movie just cemented my love of horror and my love of the anthology format.
Yeah,
you know?
I love the anthology format.
Me too,
Yeah,
and that's why I produced 2 of them, you know?
Yeah.
It's fairly new to me, but I'm really digging it. Like, especially with like the TV shows.
Yeah. So that just cemented my love of horror of all kinds, because that was a British horror film, and I didn't know such things existed, you know? And then as I grew up, oh my God, dudes, when we first got cable TV, it was a whole new goddamn world, because there were channels that showed these old movies and stuff, you know? And I got a whole, and then, oh God, here come, I was beating my brothers. I'm like, oh my God, hit it, press it, here comes mom. You know, we're not supposed to be watching Halloween or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then that was it, man. That was when I was like 8 years old, and then forget it. That's 45 years later. I'm a total wreck now who can't, you know, sleep in the dark.
No, yeah, that's awesome. Because for me, believe it or not, it was a Michael Jackson Thriller video. I was like knee-high to a grasshopper. You know, like wee little when I first saw that. My uncle, same guy who introduced me to Kiss and showed me that video. And it wasn't so much the music, because the music was kind of haunting, but it was a combination of Vincent Price's narration and the zombies. Like the werewolf transformation didn't bother me at all. That kind of stuff, I always loved it. But the zombies, I had nightmares about them. Like I remember waking straight up out of bed because I saw Michael Jackson and a horde of zombies breaking through my bedroom door to kill me. Yeah, it got me that bad, and I couldn't even listen to the song because of Vincent Price.
Yeah.
But because of that, eventually I got to where I could listen to that song again and not be bothered by it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I really like zombie movies. Like the zombie movies will always be my favorite genre of horror. I don't know why. I just always zombies well because of Michael Jackson's Thriller, but like just the lore behind them, like that adds to it. Like I've done so much research into the zombie lore that I don't know. Craig, like Army of the Dead, I agree was not the best movie by any means.
It was a good preview,
but I was able to sit through it. You know, I made it to the end. So and it was the zombies, because the zombie kills were pretty damn good. Like the kills in that movie were great, but just the story, like where you're saying with the story, I completely agree. Like it's just no. But yeah, Michael Jackson's Thriller, and like that's what sealed my love for horror and zombie genre specifically. But like American Werewolf in London, as far as like horror movies, like that was the one. Like, it made me fall in love with werewolves. So that's probably where my origins would lie, is with that movie.
Cool.
And I still watch it to this day like it's brand new, like I've never seen it before. And
Oh, it still holds up
it
after all
really
this.
does.
Yeah.
It really does.
I
Such
came
a
down
great
the same
story there.
path as both of you because like it's such a toss up between what started it, but I would say Michael Jackson's Thriller really started it because not the video. The video, it didn't scare the crap out of me, but you know, it was what it was. I loved zombies at that point, but I think the making of the video, because we had it on VHS and it would go directly to that afterwards. I think the making of the video really got me into horror because like I saw what was scaring me, and you know what I mean. Like it was regular people being put into makeup, and I kind of realized, hey, it's not that scary. But I had a cool aunt too who got me into Return of the Living Dead and let me watch that, and I was like 5 at the time. And ever since then, everything has been about horror. Like my parents were cool with it because me and my mom had like Halloween marathons all the time, especially during Halloween and stuff like that. And she taught me to like laugh at horror, so it made it a little less like strenuous and stressful. So that's where I came from, and I've been here since. I don't think I ever gave up watching horror movies. Not even one.
No.
Nor should you.
No.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you got to keep it in your life.
Yeah. I got out of date with horror movies, but I never stopped watching. I just recycled the same old ones until, like I said, I saw Terrifier, and that opened up a whole new world for me.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm just a film buff at heart. Like horror is my first love. But you give me a good comedy or a good drama or whatever, I'll be totally into that. You know, I just love movie magic. You know.
Yep.
So just give me a good movie. Like I love a good comedy.
Oh,
you know, I'll watch the shit. I must have seen Office Space about 5,000 times.
Yeah.
Or Dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball is one of those movies that if I'm flipping channels and it's on, that's it. I'm watching it till the end.
Well, I know what I'm watching.
Yep, and that's it. I don't care.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Exactly.
Yeah, horror. I mean, like, comedy is a close second to horror for me. But I think, like, cartoons hold it up. Cartoons and horror really, and those are my top-notch things.
I don't know. Action movies hold a spot in my heart. Always kind of have.
Never really got too much into action.
Schwarzenegger was my guy growing up. Like,
I like the old canon movies, but like I never too much got into action.
Right.
Well, look, I'm a child of the 80s, so Chuck Norris, Steven Seagal, Schwarzenegger, all those guys, right? Like
Commando, the movie
Commando. My brothers and I couldn't wait for the next Jean-Claude Van Damme movie to come out, you know?
Bloodsport, fucking Kickboxer.
Right?
Yeah.
Kickboxer, yeah.
Van Damme was another one of mine, yep. I loved him too.
I remember when Predator came out, and I thought that was the most amazing thing I'd ever freaking seen.
It's still a fucking brilliant movie.
Yeah,
that movie
it is.
Holy shit. Like you don't have to remake it because it's perfect the way it is.
Yeah.
But I'm really while we're on that, I'm really looking forward to the upcoming origin story they have coming. It's called Skulls.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's supposed to take place in like the Predator's first journey to Earth is what they're saying.
Ah, okay.
And from what I understand from articles that I've read over the past few months, they're saying like in the American Southwest, like pre-Columbian even. So I'm like, Predator versus the natives. Okay. I could dig that because number one, it gets them away from Schwarzenegger because people are like, bring Schwarzenegger back. No, don't bring Schwarzenegger back. He's too old. Like unless he's playing the retired general at the beginning of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, but that's okay. If he's got like a little cameo or something to
but
tie
don't have
it
him
together.
fight. Don't have him running through the woods, and it just wouldn't make sense. The guy's pushing 80 years old. You know what I mean? Like, But yeah, Predator, that was one of the movies for sure that Yeah, one of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies. That and Terminator.
Sure.
Yeah.
I count the entire Terminator franchise, by the way, when I say Terminator, because I just love them that much.
Okay.
I understand. I get it. Trust me.
Look, I will never ever tell anybody what, or suggest you shouldn't like something. I may not get it, but if
Terminator 2 is
them,
definitely the best one. Terminator 2
for sure.
Definitely the number one. But we won't get into the rest of them. We did a whole episode.
Listen, anytime you want me to come back on and tell you why you're wrong about the rest of the Terminator movies, I'm happy to do it.
I'll listen. I'll probably agree with you.
Look, if you like them, though, you like them, and that's it. Like,
it's just they hold such a special place in my heart. Like
that's awesome.
Terminator 2 was my absolute shit growing up. Like, I was completely obsessed with it. Had all the action figures. Watched the movie countless times.
Yeah.
I could probably quote it from beginning to end.
See, so to me, just a slight little detour here. As much as I love movies, we are in an era now that technology has come so far. I don't know if we're ever going to be wowed again like we were with T2 and those liquid metal effects. When he walks through the bars no one had ever seen anything like that before.
That fucks with your head when you're a little
right?
kid.
Or when Schwarzenegger pushes him up against the wall and he reverses himself.
Yeah.
I was like, what just happened?
It still does that to me.
Yeah.
I just watched
now,
it a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
You watch a movie like Avengers or something like that, and it's such whiz-bang technology, you're like, okay.
Been there, done that.
Get it. Oh, look, a spaceship, or the Hulk. Okay. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love me some Marvel movies, but the technology doesn't wow me anymore like it used to.
The effects. Yeah, I know because it's oversaturation. Because every movie has way too much CG in it.
Yeah.
Because everything's digital. And I think that's what kills it, because you don't have a lot of practical stuff going on. When you got everything on a green screen, you're not able to pull off a lot of the stuff that we did in 15.
Sure.
Yeah. Like when he walks out of the fire as the silver guy.
Yeah.
Like, I still don't know how they did that. There's overlays and stuff. I don't understand any of that, but that is still one of the coolest effects in any movie that I've ever seen.
Pure movie magic, man.
Like, absolutely. You see the tire, they drive off, and then here he comes. It's like, oh, that's neat.
Right.
Still, just the effects in that movie still blow my
still
mind.
holds up. It's like when I watch Jurassic Park. It's like watching it for the first time. You know, some of the stuff, now you can kind of see it a little bit, but they did it smart. Like the T-Rex is a combination. They built the fucking thing, and then layered some CGI on top of it. The Velociraptors are actually built, so they were smart about it, but it still holds up today.
Such a great movie.
How can Jurassic World look shittier than Jurassic Park, which was 25 years ago?
All the green
I don't
screen.
get it. I'm like, how can those dinosaurs look shittier? Whatever.
And that was another one I just recently watched, was Jurassic Park. Like, such a great movie. Like, it still holds up. The effects are amazing, and like, I don't get bored watching it. Like,
Me either.
I can watch it. Put it on a loop probably, and I wouldn't get bored of it. Just, it's that good.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about T2. But I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy, make them sit and watch T2 on a loop. It's like, you gotta break it up once in a while. It's a great movie together. Come on. But yeah, we veered off the horror subject a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Jurassic Park kind of fits though.
Sure.
Jurassic Park is kind of
we venture off all the time.
Yeah, it's
no matter how hard we try.
It doesn't matter.
It's all good.
It's another Schwarzenegger movie, and I guess you can consider it horror because of the subject matter, but End of Days.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that one?
I thought it was silly. You know, I like Gabriel Byrne. I thought he was cool as the devil, but I thought it was just silly and contrived. Like, there's two things that sucked me right out of the movie. How does Arnold happen to be walking past the exact house where the chair comes flying out of the window? You know, and that's how he knows what's going on. And then they find that clue, that clue that gets left about Christ in New York. And he goes, Christ in New York. I don't know. Maybe it means Christine York. I'm like, are you absolutely fucking kidding me right now? Like, talk about lazy writing. Like, who would make that leap? Especially Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're not talking about Sherlock fucking Holmes. Dude, yeah, I'm sorry. Like,
no, you're fine.
I just didn't care for it. I thought it was too silly. Had a great premise.
Yeah,
poor execution.
The premise is great, but it was, I agree. It was horribly done.
And you talked about, like, you love the zombie genre. I love religious themed horror. Like, anything to do with, like, the devil, Omen, anything to do with the devil or possession or anything religious themed. I love it. So when that came out, I was like, "Ooh, this seems cool." Gabriel Byrne, like, okay. Let me just watch The Exorcist again, so I can feel better about myself.
Redeem yourself. I'll agree with that. 100%. It was very.
There's something wrong with me.
I can't even think of the word. Like, silly is probably the nicest word you can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a good idea going in, but they just didn't.
Yeah.
They could have pulled it off so much better.
Good idea, poor execution, you know?
Yeah.
And just poorly written, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like lazy writing. Like, there's a million other ways for him to have found that girl. You know what I mean? Like, you're a detective. Detect.
Yeah.
You know? Start making up words in your fucking head. You know? Like,
yeah, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Don't just make your own puzzles. That's not how this
works. Oh boy.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, we got to talk, Craig. Shit. I lost track of where we were going with that because I had to bring up that movie. Okay. What are some of your favorite, like? We touched a little bit on the TV shows. Like, are there any that you're currently watching now that you're really into?
Well, I watched Squid Game twice. That show was fucking amazing. But I have 1,000 things on my DVR. Like, I have Chucky on the DVR. And so, just a quick side note, it always makes me laugh when horror fans complain that there's never anything new, and then they announce that there's a new Chucky TV series coming out, and horror fans jizz in their pants over it, you know? Now, the only thing that it leads me to want to watch it is because the original director, Don Mancini, is involved, and Alex Vincent is in it, and, you know, so that makes me feel better that it's like the original creators are involved in it.
Yeah.
So as far as TV goes, I don't really watch a lot of horror TV stuff. I'm a Walking Dead diehard. I'm seeing it through to the end, you know, because I read all the comics all the way to the end, and I just want to see how they wrap it up, you know?
Yeah.
So other than that, I'm still like an old school TV guy. I like crime procedurals like Law and Order and shit like that, you know, like I still watch that. But I have a lot of things on my DVR, you know, that I just haven't gotten to yet. So eventually, you know, I want to see Chucky and see what they did. I find it hard to believe that, like, an 18-year-old kid goes to a garage sale and buys a doll. So I'm hoping they explain why he does that.
Nostalgia.
You know, I guess.
He had one when he was a kid.
Yeah, maybe.
Guarantee you, that's why.
Yeah, like when I was 18, I wasn't exactly thinking about dolls.
No, I get that. I was thinking about my old action figures, but now I started rebuilding my collection, so we're good.
Yeah, I see that. I see that behind you. That's cool.
Craig's got way more shit than I do, but
yeah, too much.
I did too for a while, and I just don't have enough room to display everything. So I stick to my horror memorabilia. I have a museum's worth of signed posters and records and pictures and stuff like that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Any plans on opening a museum?
Oh, I wish. I'll have to dig up that treasure in my backyard to do that. It would be cool though. But like when you come to my house, my living room and my home office is full of all that shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice. Like, I don't know. Some of my favorite shows. Like we've been watching the new season of American Horror Story, and it's Macaulay Culkin's series debut. He's never done it, and he did the first half of the season. He did a really good job, and it was just a different take on the vampire story.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Like, it was interesting. And then now they're talking about Area 51 and like the beginnings of all that shit. So I'm interested to see where this goes. And then they have on Hulu, they have one called American Horror Stories, where each episode is a different
Got it.
story.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard
That
about
one.
that.
That one's actually pretty. That was pretty good. Like there's only 7 episodes, but it'd be worth a shot, I'd say. I liked it because it kind of connected to the original series and stuff too.
Okay.
Kind of tied it all together.
I haven't. Hotel was the last season I watched of American Horror Story.
Yes,
and
it doesn't
for no
go
real
too much
reason.
further than that. Right.
You know,
You
for
just
no
kinda
real
stop.
reason other than that I just haven't gotten to
Right.
it. But I thought that season was great.
Yeah, Hotel Freak Show is really good. That's all. But my favorite one's always going to be Asylum.
Okay.
Season
Yeah.
2. I've always loved stuff with mental asylums, and like
it's
TB
great.
hospitals and stuff like that. Like one of my bucket list destinations is Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville. I just want to do a 12-hour investigation there and just see what happens. Because paranormal has always been something that's been like, hey, you know we're here. Like, I can't say I know for a fact, but like it's I can't say I don't either. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just something that's always intrigued me. Ghosts and demons, all that kind of stuff. Because, I don't know, it kind of gives you hope for what's after, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can fuck with people in the afterlife. That's my goal. I want to fuck with people who piss me off.
I did forget one. I like the new Creep Show on Shudder.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't
That is a good
seen
series.
They're up to season 3, and it can be a little hit or miss. You know, some of the segments are better than others, but every anthology is like that. You know, some of them are good, some of them But I like I like the vibe. You know, they really did recreate the old vibe of it.
did.
You know, which I like. So yeah, that I'm into.
Yeah.
That I'm into. I'm a couple of episodes behind in season 3, so I have to watch it.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't had Shudder in months. It's probably time to renew my subscription.
Dude, if you wait, and you just watch, every once in a while they'll have a special where you can get it for like a year.
Yeah.
For like $50 or something like that.
Right on.
You know.
I'll keep an eye
So
out.
when they come with that, I always do it because that to me is like a no-brainer. You know.
Right. That's how I was with Spotify.
Yeah.
You run a special, get 3 months of premium for 99 cents.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sure. Okay. Just give it to me, why don't you?
Yeah. Sign me up.
Yep. Absolutely.
Another good one is The Witching season on Prime. It's like a collection of short stories each episode. It's only like 15 minutes long, but it's pretty good.
Oh, I'm familiar with that. All right.
Slasher Dave did music for it from Acid Witch. He did like the background music for it, and it's all centered around Halloween. but they're actually pretty good shorts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I like shit like that because sometimes I'm busy and I'm like, I've only got time for like 15 or 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, that's
so
exactly
I like
what
a
it
good
is.
horror short
Yeah,
that I can just throw on and get my fix and
Yep.
and move on.
Yeah.
Yep. Got a little time to kill before you roll out for work.
Okay, cool. I will
I'll have
definitely
to check that out. The
Yeah.
witching season.
Yep.
Oh, cool. All right. Now, I need to ask the question.
Uh-oh.
Where do we want to see horror go in the future? Like, what do we want to see brought forth?
Personally, I think we're in a pretty good space right now. People complain all the time that there's nothing new, but I think that they're not looking in the right place.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I saw Malignant and I thought it was great. Like, look, it's not a perfect movie, but I thought it was different. It had a cool vibe, like it had a different kind of villain, you know?
Yeah.
I loved Midsommar. I loved Hereditary. There's a lot of good original movies out there. Not all of them are great. No one is putting a gun to your head and telling you have to watch another Halloween.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And guys, I whine about this all the time, but this pisses me off. It just does. People will complain that there's nothing new. And then I'll go to a film festival where for 10 or 15 bucks, you can sit all day and watch original content. And I sit there and there's like 9 people in the theater, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is it so hard? Like, people will dump their money into the latest big budget Hollywood sequel, but to get them to come to an indie film festival, it's like you're asking for a kidney, you know? Now, my festival's very well attended, and there are a lot that are very well attended. Like, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. What I'm specifically speaking to the people who complain all the time, but then don't do anything about it.
Exactly.
You know, there's a lot of great original content out there. Like when people say today's music sucks, then you and I are looking in different places because there's a lot of great indie bands and stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my daughter turns me on to great new bands all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, people love to complain, but then never do anything about it. So I want to just see. I think we're in a good spot with horror. I really do think there's a lot of good content coming out. You have people like Blumhouse and A24, and you have Ari Aster's making movies like Midsommar, and James Wan. You know,
James Wan's is doing really good work.
Yeah, so I think we're in a good spot. Look, I'm not as militant about remakes and sequels as some people are.
Yeah.
Like, because as soon as someone says remakes suck, okay, what about The Thing or what about The Fly? You know?
Right.
Oh well, yeah, well those are pretty good. Well, okay. A remake is like any other movie to me, guys. It'll either be good or it won't.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know. Like I like the Evil Dead remake, and people called me a blasphemer.
I liked it too.
That I like it.
I liked it.
And it doesn't mean you have to stop liking the original.
No.
Yeah.
I still do. The original's where it's at.
Right?
It's no Evil Dead 2.
No one is coming to your house to confiscate all your copies of the original.
Yeah.
You know? People lost their shit when they said they were going to remake The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, folks, please feel free to send me your hate mail. I don't think The Lost Boys is as great as everyone seems to remember it being.
No.
Fair opinion.
Second, then if you hate the idea that they're going to remake it, it's such an easy problem to solve. Just don't watch it.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I did. I just didn't watch it.
Exactly. Yeah, I stopped watching the Nightmare on Elm Street remake halfway through because I'm like, this sucks, this is garbage, I hate it, goodbye. And I moved on with my life. And that was it.
Yep.
So, I don't know, people are funny.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street remake though, jeez.
Yeah, that was a terrible remake. That was
And it's not. I like Jackie Earl Haley. I think he's
So do
good.
I.
Think, I liked him. It's not his fault. He was in a bad movie.
Yeah.
He got paid. He was doing his job.
Right.
That's all he was doing.
Exactly.
You can't fault him because he was doing that to the best of his ability.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I say about that is you can't recast Freddy Krueger when Robert Englund still has a pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Like, he is Freddy Krueger and he always will be Freddy Krueger. Like, once he leaves this realm, don't do Nightmare on Elm Street. Leave it alone.
Yep.
Please. That's the only one I want you to leave the fuck alone. Well, that and RoboCop, they already fucked that one up.
Yeah, they fucked that one up.
I haven't seen it, but I know they fucked it up. I just know.
I'll just very briefly what I'll say. If the remake wasn't called RoboCop, it would have been a good movie. You know what I'm? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if they didn't try to remake RoboCop, it would have been a pretty cool sci-fi kind of movie. You know?
Yeah.
But once you call it RoboCop, well, now you're setting yourself up for comparison.
Yeah.
And they missed the whole point of the original about like this fascism and everything. Like they missed that whole subtext. You know? But like a lot of remakes, if they hadn't called it the original, you'd be like, okay, that was a pretty good movie.
Right. But that's how I felt about the Total Recall remake. Like, I just watched that. I watched that going in like, okay, this is not Total Recall. This is something. And I enjoyed it. Like, going into it, that mindset, I actually enjoyed that movie. But I can understand why people didn't, but you're comparing it to the original at that point.
Right.
This one doesn't take place on Mars. It's all on Earth. Deal with it.
Right.
You still get your three-breasted hooker, so briefly, but she's there.
Yeah, people are. Look, I get it. We love the things that we love, right? Like, The Exorcist is one of my favorite movies, horror or otherwise. Yeah. And they were already talking about remaking it. I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna slit my wrists over it. Like, I'll either watch it or I won't. You know. And Jaws, they want to remake Jaws. I'm like, and here's the only reason I know how they'll fuck that up. The reason Jaws works, right. The reason Jaws works is because the shark didn't work, and as a result, you don't see a lot of it in the movie, and it makes it scarier. If they remake Jaws, they're just going to turn it into a gore fest for all the 19-year-olds.
You're going to see the shark everywhere.
Right, and it's just gonna suck.
It's gonna ruin it.
There'll be no mystery, no tension, no nothing. It'll just, and don't get me wrong, I love a good gore fest, but I want to be scared at the movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. So. Yep. If I go see a horror movie, I better be screaming at some point.
Yeah.
If you want to scare me with a horror movie, that's what you need to do. And I don't scare very easy.
Dude, I embrace it, right? I love when all these tough guys goes, well, nothing scares me anymore.
I'm just not real jumpy at all.
And I'm like, yeah, because you're not 7 years old anymore. Right. You know, like, or when people say, oh, the new Star Wars, it just didn't have that magic. And I'm like, yeah, because you're not 9.
And it's not the 70s.
You know, like you're a grown-ass man. Like, you don't view it through the same lens, you know?
Yeah.
When people tell me that, they go, okay, here's the thing. The last legal guillotine execution took place after the first Star Wars movie came out.
Right? Right.
That's why the magic isn't there anymore.
We live in an era, guys, where people watch stuff just so they can criticize it. Like, they can't wait to walk out of the theater, get on their phone, and tell everyone how much it sucked. Guess what? Nobody cares.
Yep.
I get it. I run a website where I review movies because I want to build a content and I want to, you know, get hits on my website and everything. Yeah. But people could read my reviews and say, this guy doesn't know what he's fucking talking about, and that's their right. You know, I'm giving my opinion, and I understand that people probably don't care.
That's how I am anymore. Like, I'll post like a song or something on Facebook, and people are like, there's so much better bands out there, and it's like, okay.
Go listen to them.
I like what I like. You go over there, listen. Like, yeah, they're good, but like that's not who I want to listen to right now.
Yeah. That kind of brings us back to that's where I want to see horror go. Is like where everybody is a little less militant about liking or not liking something. There's no gray area anymore. You either love it or hate it, and if you hate it, someone's gonna hate you. It's not even fun to like converse about it anymore.
Right. I'm with you, Craig. I left a lot of the horror groups I was in on Facebook because all they do is bicker all the time. And it's like, nobody cares whether Jason or Michael Myers is better. Like, nobody cares. You know?
Yeah, no. You don't. You like who you like.
Mean, me, I'm a Hellraiser fan. Like, I like the Hellraiser franchise until they got really silly. But but that's me. Whatever, you know. I just I prefer that, and that's it. You know.
Yeah.
But
I've always been a Friday the 13th kind of guy.
Okay, that's cool.
Jason Voorhees, I've always been a big fan
I
of.
get it.
To a certain point, anyway. Like, Takes Manhattan was probably that point. When was he in Manhattan?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. See, in that respect, I kind of like with the new Halloween movies, they ignored all the shitty sequels, and it picks up right after the original. You know,
like there's no magical cousin or niece or nephew anymore.
Right. There no druids or any weird fucking shit like that. So I like that fact, and I know you haven't seen James the two recent ones, but the way they connect it to the original Halloween, I thought was very cool. You know, and so that I give.
So they're more direct sequels to that
they
one.
Wrote it. Pardon?
Okay. They're direct sequels to the original then.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
Cool.
And I respect
like
them for that. They were just like, fuck it. We're going to ignore Halloween, H2O, and Resurrection, and all that shitty crap, you know?
Yeah. To be fair, it's very easy to ignore those movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I'm excited about. Like, I know there's one more coming, you know, but I'm glad they're putting an end to the actual series. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have to go off course. They're finishing what they started. You know?
Yeah.
Even though I love Halloween 3, the rest of them kind of really went off the rails, like you were saying, with druids and nieces, and you know what I mean. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Halloween 3, you know, is to me will always be a standalone movie, and I'm glad that it's finally getting the love that it deserves. You know, when people finally understand what the Halloween franchise was supposed to be, you know, and then all of a sudden they get what Halloween 3 is. I keep saying they should remove Halloween 3 from it and just call it Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
And then I think people will get it more.
More people will watch it for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, because I still think it's a great standalone horror movie, you know?
Yeah.
Once you realize, okay, well, Michael Myers isn't in it, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
You know?
It completely disassociates it from that story.
About the newest one is they actually pay homage to that story in the newest one. So, you know, that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, that was cool. I had to go watch a couple of YouTube videos just to see all the Easter eggs in the movie, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, there's the stuff that I saw, and I know there's got to be twice as much stuff that I missed. You know?
Yeah, they do that with shit a lot of
all the
movies.
time.
Like, like movies that I've seen 30 fucking times. It's like you'll put it on one day just out of the blue and be like, oh fuck, I didn't notice that. Like Leprechaun 3. I was watching it yesterday, and right when he goes into the casino and starts looking around, you see Warwick Davis out of makeup sitting at a slot machine. Huh. And I never noticed that before.
Me either. Now I have to look for it.
I wrote it down. I was like, because I'm taking detailed notes on these fucking movies, so I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him forever, but yeah, like I saw that, I was like, oh, Warwick Davis.
Very cool.
I love it when they do that. They do out of makeup cameo for the actor.
Yeah.
It's always been one of my favorite things in horror or any genre really, because it's not just horror they do that with. But
Sure.
the Leprechaun movies, they're a lot better than I remember them being.
They're fun.
They're
Fun.
just they're just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
The first two are pretty damn gruesome though. And I love it. I really
Yep.
love it. Love it. All the gore. All the gore. All
Yep.
it. I'm a gore whore, is what I like to say.
Yeah, me too. I've always been a gore hound. You know, my
Yeah.
friends and I will seek out like the most outrageous, violent movies that we
Mhm.
can find, just
Yeah.
for the shock value. You know.
Yep, absolutely. Like, for me, where I want to see less like the movies like Paranormal Activity. Like, I don't want to see much more of those. Like, I'm cool with a good like paranormal movie as long as it's like, you know, like The Exorcist or like, you know, The Haunting in Connecticut or something like that. Like that kind of paranormal type story I'm cool with, but like the found footage, there's a ghost in my house movie, it's pretty
I
stale.
love found footage when they do it right.
Right.
You know, like
Like a
Paranormal
slasher
Activity
in the
wasn't that
woods.
great, but I do love found footage movies.
Mhm.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. It's just hard to do it right because a lot of times they reach that point where you have to ask, okay, why would you still be holding a camera in this situation? You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, so you gotta, it's hard to do it right. You know, I like the Paranormal Activity movies, even though there are too many of them.
Mhm.
But like I mentioned earlier, I have a lot of sleep phobias. So
Yeah.
those movies totally freaked me out, you know?
Right.
Oh, the
Just
first
because
one freaked
some
me
of
out
the-
for sure.
Oh, the first one
just
got me.
some of the mental shit that I have.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I like my gore. I don't know. I think the gorier the better, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I
I'm
love
down.
good kills.
There's a movie on Amazon Prime by Olaf Ittenbach called No Reason. You should watch that. And I don't know if you've seen Adam Chaplin.
No.
But if you can find it, I don't know where it's streaming. I have it on Blu-ray. But if you can find Adam Chaplin, if you like bloodfests, Adam Chaplin is probably the goriest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you should check it out.
Yeah. Adam Chaplin.
Adam Chaplin and No Reason. No Reason, I think, is on Amazon.
Okay.
You might have to rent it, but it's like $1 or something like that, or $2 or something. I don't know if it's part of Prime, but
I'll have to check that out. Sure. I love my
yeah,
gore.
Olaf Ittenbach is my man. The movies make no goddamn sense whatsoever, but they're crazy. They're just over the freaking top, you know?
I told Craig about this yesterday, and he watched it. There's a movie called Primal Rage. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not.
Okay. Now, I'm not one for like movies about Bigfoot lore normally. Like, they're all the same.
Yeah.
This one is not your typical Bigfoot movie.
Yeah, this one was different. I'll give it that.
The story is really good. And like just the kills and the gore, and then the end of it, like golf clap for sure. I like
Primal Rage, huh?
Primal Rage. It's really definitely.
It's on what is it on Tubi or Prime?
Prime, I believe. I saw it on.
All right.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Like it.
All right.
Like I said, I'm not one for the Bigfoot genre, like the cryptoids and shit like that. But
Yeah.
There's
another good Bigfoot movie that I liked. I want to say 2013 or 2014 called Exists.
Okay.
And I thought was a pretty good Bigfoot movie.
Okay.
You're right. 90% of them are crap.
Yeah, it's all just the same stuff rehashed over and over.
Yeah.
again.
So I think Exists is either on Netflix or on Prime. I can't remember which, but that one was pretty good.
I'll check that out.
All right. Primal Rage. All right. Maybe I know what I'm watching later tonight.
I would definitely recommend it.
All
People
right.
out there, check it out.
Yeah.
Because I heard about it on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I was like, I'm all rage. And this was months ago that I heard about it, and I just kind of forgot about it. And I was scrolling through on Prime yesterday, and I was like, hey, there's that movie. And I was like, give it a whirl, and it just wrapped me right in. I was, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know where it was going at first, and then it just sucked me right in.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And then what was another? The movie Raw.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I've seen that.
I watched that one last night.
Yeah.
Way better than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's good.
Way better.
It's
good. And I don't care that it's in French.
No.
One of the languages I despise more than any other language, just because I don't like the sound of it. But that movie, like, holy shit. I was able to follow it and everything, and I hate reading movies. Like, I hate following subtitles, but I will. If it's supposed to be as good as they say it is, and that movie is really fucking good.
Yeah, it is. One more that comes to mind is a movie. I want to say it's a Turkish film, but maybe another Eastern European country, but it's called Baskin.
I've seen that. Yeah.
You saw it, right?
Yeah, that movie's fucking
amazing. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that movie creeped me out, you know, because I was like, that could fucking happen. You know, I was like, that seems like it could happen. Okay.
Yep. Those are the movies that fuck with me the most because it's like,
yeah.
You never know. You never fucking know.
And I don't know if you know this, but you know, like the short, bald, creepy guy that's like the villain.
Mm-hmm.
That's not makeup.
I know.
He
really
him.
looks like
okay.
that.
Yeah, he really looks like that. And I'm like, God, if you're listening, please don't ever let me run into that guy, like, for real, ever.
Well, it's like Michael Berryman in Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
There's no makeup there. That's him.
No, but see, there's a difference. Like, I've met him at cons a bunch of times.
I hear he's a teddy bear.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, all right, it's cool. You know, like, I've met the guy and he's pretty awesome. So, yeah, super nice guy.
Yeah, Chris Styles said that too. He was like, Michael Berryman's a fucking teddy bear, man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
It's like, all right, I know he is, but still, like, the first time I saw Hills Have Eyes, it was just his image, like, being on the cover is what sold me on that movie.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
See, that's another remake that I like.
Oh, the 2006?
Yeah, I thought the
I
remake
enjoyed
was
it too.
super intense and brutal.
And I liked how they tweaked it a little bit too.
Yeah, it made you feel uncomfortable, you know?
You just needed a shower after a while.
So my ex-wife, we were still together at the time. My ex is not a real horror person, but she wanted to go. She's like, oh, I've heard you talking about this movie. She's like, I'll go with you. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, you might want to go see the rom-com that they're showing the next theater over. Just say, no, I'll be fine. About 40 minutes in, she's like, fuck this. I'm out. I'll see you later. I'm like, I told you.
Told you.
You know, like,
oh man, that was one of the better remakes, I feel.
Yeah,
for sure. And people give me shit about it all the time, but I say the same thing about the Friday the 13th remake. I thought that was really good.
I did too, but what I didn't care for was, I don't know how to quite say this where it'll make sense of like what's in my head. I just didn't buy that, like, Jason would now suddenly keep someone chained up in his lair.
Yeah.
He seemed to have a little more thought and a little more process than in the original. But that's a nitpick. You know what I mean? Like
what the locket that has his mom's picture in it. Because she looked like his mom.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like that. But at the same time, it's like, that still doesn't make sense though, because like he watched his mom die.
Yeah.
And he knows she's not alive.
To me, that the biggest sin of that particular remake was just completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
like,
it really was.
If it didn't exist, no one would care.
Right. Well, the fact that it does, nobody cares.
Right.
And it's just funny.
Yeah, but listen, that's the era we live in. If people forget, guys, that Hollywood studios are a business like any other. And I love when people say, "Oh, that movie was just a cash grab." Yeah, no fucking shit. Like, you think no one makes a movie hoping to lose money? Like, when I make a movie, I want to make a profit. Is that a cash grab, or am I looking to profit from my efforts?
Yeah.
So
Trying to get paid
as
for your
long
art.
as people will go see the movies, Hollywood's going to keep making them, and it's safer to use an existing property than to take a risk on something new. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And we proved it, right? We proved it just now. Everybody hates remakes and sequels, yet somehow Halloween Kills made $50 million in 2 days.
Yep.
Right? So who's going to see these movies? Like, someone is, right?
Yeah.
And whatever, like, it's fine. At the end of the day, man, I hope that it just shows Hollywood that horror can make money, and they keep making movies, and hopefully along the way they make some original stuff.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some great original horror out there these days too. You just gotta dig a little bit.
Well, and then people, like, I don't know if you guys saw The Witch or It Follows.
Yep. Love both
So
those
I
movies.
thought I love those movies, but a lot of my friends said, "Oh, they're so boring. Nothing ever happens." And I'm like, "Okay, so you mean 80 people didn't get violently killed?"
Right.
All right. I guess.
It's not torture porn? Ooh.
I thought It Follows was super creepy.
Brilliant.
And I thought it was a great play on the whole don't have sex in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Because literally, a demon will follow you if you fuck in this movie. You know, like-
Yes.
So, yeah. And
that-
when the
that was
old
a-
lady is shambling across the lawn, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's fucking
No. That just you saying that fucking freaked me out.
Right?
Oh god damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, those movies are awesome.
Yeah, they're good.
There's kind of like a home invasion movie, but it's still in the horror genre. It's called Hush.
Oh, I loved Hush.
That blew
Great
my
movie.
mind.
Yeah,
'Cause
great movie.
I read the little synopsis on Netflix, and
Yeah.
I was like, it didn't really click until I started watching the movie. Like, oh, she's deaf. Okay, this is gonna be good. And it
Right?
was. Like,
So
it was
again,
brilliantly
to me,
done.
that's relatable. Like, holy
Mhm.
shit, that could happen. Imagine a deaf person being stalked by a killer.
Yep.
You know, how would they deal with that?
Yeah.
You know, that's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, it
No,
fucking
that's a
did.
good one. Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna have to watch
There's
that
a
one.
lot of good movies out there. You
Yep.
just got to take. How many times did we go to the mom and pop video store, look at the cover of a movie we had never heard of, and said, "Yeah, I'll give that a shot."
Yeah.
Sometimes you find a hidden gem, you know.
Yep.
And then other times you're like, I can't believe I wasted $4 on that. But
I have a DVD collection in the other room that is a prime example of all of that.
nice.
I was just walking into like Walmart or something, being like, "Oh, that's a cool looking movie." You know, you're coming
Dude,
home.
I love the bargain bin in the
Yo,
store.
yeah,
I
you're
love the
gonna
bargain
find
bin.
some treasure in there.
Oh my god, right?
Holy hell, get me a fucking scuba suit.
Right? Yeah.
Fuck. Come on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
feel at my
totally
record
get it.
store too.
Mm,
Like, 'cause he has a room that's just wall-to-wall records. Everything's $1. And
cool.
very easy for me to spend at least $30 there.
That's
and,
cool.
and not grab a single new record that he has.
Yeah, my daughter is very into vinyl. A few years ago, she asked me to buy her an actual turntable for Christmas, which I did. And she'll go to thrift stores and stuff, and she'll call me and say, "Oh my God, Dad, I found a Bee Gees record, or I found a Michael Jackson record, or something for $2 or whatever." You know, oh, Dad,
Yeah,
look at
I
this
know what you
Fleetwood
mean.
Mac. You know, I'm like, there you go.
Yep, you
Buy
never
them
know
when
what
you
you're gonna
find them.
find. You never know.
Yep.
Yeah, most of my collection is like a lot of stuff I got online, like a lot of my newer like punk and metal stuff I got online, but most of it is from going to the record store, Goodwill, and doing some diving.
Sure. Estate sales are sometimes good for that too.
Oh, I got to keep my eye out on them.
Yeah, because you have
Thanks
like
for the
some old
reminder.
dude or whatever, some old lady who's got a whole, you know, her grandson or whoever it is had a crate full of vinyl.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of times you can say like, "I'll give you $30 for the whole thing" or whatever.
And you'll get like just a crate and like 200 pieces of vinyl
You
in
know,
it.
yeah.
But no, that'd be good for me because I want to make like a coffee table
Oh,
with
yeah.
my
there you
old
go.
vinyl. I have a whole process that I got to go through. That's just going to take some time. But all right, Todd.
All right.
This has been a great 2 hours, man.
Yeah,
dude, it was fun. I love talking about this shit with
Oh, dude,
you.
so do we.
Really
We
do.
could talk about it for days. We
Yeah.
really appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Any time. I love talking about horror. I love, I love promoting my stuff, and promoting other people's stuff,
Absolutely.
So when this goes live, I'll promote the shit out of it,
Awesome.
Awesome.
And this was a blast. I took some notes about some shows and movies that I
Yeah, so did I. I got plenty of shit to check out now.
So yeah.
Back to the
It was
Killer's
fun, man.
Donuts.
Thanks a lot, guys, for having me on.
Yeah,
I
no problem.
appreciate it.
Thank you, man. And
All
happy
right.
Halloween.
Same to you guys. Peace.
Later.
It's nice here. Let's get ready for the Halloween party. Wow, it's gonna be spooky and fun. Let's shake up our Viewmaster light sticks and shine in the dark. Let's light up the jack-o'-lantern. And let's light up our monster faces.
A Viewmaster Light Up Light Stick comes with every jack-o'-lantern or monster head, each sold separately. Or you can buy light sticks alone. Light Up Monster Heads, Light Up Inflatable Jack-o'-lantern, and the light stick itself, each sold separately.
I may be stranded, but at least I got my Fruity Pebbles. Fruity! A ghost! Only a Fruity Pebbles can set my spirit free. My Fruity Pebbles? Okay. Frighteningly fruity flavors. Thanks, Fred. Barney! Boo. Bon appetit. Post Fruity Pebbles cereal, part of this complete breakfast.
Okay, so the lighting sucks here, but I am standing on the dike levee of Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Right in front of me is the Susquehanna River. Right behind me is Water Street, leading into the Island Road, which is over there somewhere. You can't really see it, but let me see. Yeah, the pathway behind me is all along the dike levee, which dams up the Susquehanna River, which runs right through the middle of town here. Now, you can't really see me or anything behind me, but what's right behind me now, right alongside the river, is called Memorial Park. Now, okay, so when they installed the dike levee, they found several skeletons of Native Americans, and I want to say a couple miles that way, when they were cutting into it, they cut half bodies out, and the shores of the river were lined with bone dust, white with it. Like, that's how many bodies were there, like cutting into burial mounds. And also Memorial Park, I'm gonna start walking down the hill. Memorial Park, they found several human remains that many believe were Native Americans, and more than likely they were, because this area was littered with them. I can't say littered, I guess that's the wrong word. But yeah, it's just, people walk this dike every day. It's a trail, it's a walking trail, that's what it's for. You get your exercise, you can ride a bike, whatever. Now, I wonder how many people actually know that they're walking over bodies. And these bodies, like, knowing this fact and being from here and knowing just how fucked up this town can be, it really explains a lot about what's gone down here. Right over here, all these lights, I mean, I say all these lights, but that light back there, you see that? This one here, right above, that one there, that is the spotlight for the airport, the Piper Memorial Airport. If you've ever heard of Piper Aircraft, we used to build them right here in this town. That company closed about 30 some odd years ago, and ever since then, several businesses have closed in this area. Several have opened in this area. Now, the problem was, Piper was here for 50 plus years. We had a paper mill that was here for fucking ever. And now we've got Truck Light and First Quality, and they're not even in this town, the headquarters. And so Piper Airport, it's still used as an airport for private aircraft, Cessnas and stuff like that. A lot of Piper Cubs. And they also have a pancake breakfast twice a year there. And you're allowed to pay extra money if you want to go up in a plane or anything like that. But, point here, with all these business closings over the past 30 some odd years, and all the drug problems in this town, and all kinds of other stuff. We're not like a murder capital or anything, but there is a huge drug problem, and businesses close, and it happens a lot, and it just makes one think, maybe if they would have properly removed these bodies and transferred them, then maybe, just maybe, Lock Haven wouldn't be an up and down of industry. Just a thought. But that's my creepy Lock Haven stories. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're enjoying our Halloween special with Mr. Todd Staruch. He's a wonderful human being. Check out Scares That Care. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We got our drawing coming up here at the end of the episode, and we'll catch you guys later. Happy Halloween. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Seriously, don't. Get an Uber. And I don't know. Stay spooky, y'all. Happy Halloween. Holy shit. Of all the times for Matt to not be here. Oh my God.
Right.
Oh, well, it's Halloween finally.
Finally.
Thank you, people, for watching our Halloween special. If you're still watching, that means you want to know who won our contest. We've got a couple people coming this week. We're going back to the movies this week. That's going to be fun. We got to find some dumpster fires to watch for that.
Yep.
And our buddy Ian Klink set me up with one called The Undertaker and His Pals.
Very good one.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. And you know what? I told Ian, I was like, we'd be honored to have you.
Yeah.
And I think we'll save that one for him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go in blind because I've never seen that movie. So, but that's not what we're here for today.
Nope.
What we're here for today is to find out who won this comic that Craig has in front of him. Terrifier issue 1, signed by Damian Leone and David Howard Thornton, who portrays Art the Clown, the guy whose mask Craig was wearing and honking the horn, because that's the only noise he makes in the entire fucking movie. And it's classic. Yes, amazing movie. I'm sure the comic's great too. I haven't read it.
Comic is awesome. A good adaptation.
Sweet. So, we only got 3 entries, which at least there's some.
Yeah.
We could have got none. But, next year, maybe a bigger turnout.
We're getting there. We're getting more well known.
We'll figure something out for next year. But anyway, here's the candidates. Who are we going to show first?
Let's see. Here's a good one.
Yep, that's from my friend Jen here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And what movie is that from? I can't remember. I just watched it recently.
Isn't that from All Hallows Eve, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, you might be right. I have to watch that again because I think that's it. But I like how we're up in the corner there.
Yeah.
I dig it. And she carved I love the lettering. Like,
Yeah.
that's what sells this one for me.
Yeah. This
So
one would be
props
good for like a Halloween time, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's still great. I love it.
Oh yeah.
We're both horror nuts, so
Yep.
it just works.
Remember, there is 2 winners, so.
Yeah, there is.
All right, let's get on to the next
right.
one.
Next. That's from our buddy Mike and No Pants Maurice.
Yeah.
Those guys are great. We gotta bring them back sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the subtlety of this one because it gives us the 3D glasses.
Yeah, it just fits.
You got the Liberty spikes.
He's got the little tape around his glasses.
And the color. Yep. He's even you get even the coloring in the letters are right.
Yep.
You got green and blue happening. I like the Liberty spikes on the skull.
Yep.
And then
one.
it's just great.
Yeah.
It's nice and subtle, but still drives the message home.
Yep. And last but not least,
I know who this one's from.
It covers so much.
It does. He even threw in an ECW reference. It's great. I love it. So, this is from our buddy Kenny, aka Thunder Riot one-man punk band from Scotland. So, and he's a great friend of ours. We had him on 4th of July.
4th of July.
And I got slowly drunk. I got drunker throughout the episode. It was great because we were just bullshitting for like 4 hours.
Yeah, and there was an unboxing session and everything.
Yeah. Oh, there was several unboxings. And he just ripping his packaging open. But anyway, can we zoom in on this at all?
Yeah. We're going.
All right. There we go. All right. So, D&D, horror, comics, figures, food, games. That just covers everything.
Yep.
And much more. It ain't Seinfeld, right? There's the ECW reference.
Yeah, it fits perfect all around because it's so descriptive.
When Kenny sent this to us, the first thing I thought was, "Oh God damn it, this is going to be hard to beat."
Yep.
And I'm trying to be unbiased here.
Yeah.
They're all great.
They are all great. All right.
Oh man.
I guess it's time to make it.
Yeah, we gotta make a decision. Which one? Oh, I don't want to say which one do we like the least because that's just harsh.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I think we both agree, and the one from my friend Jen works best as for Halloween. We can keep that for Halloween for sure.
Yep.
That season because that just works.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to think of something that we can throw her away because that's technically a winner.
Yep. I'd agree.
Okay. Oh boy. Do we want to flip a coin? Oh man. Now my question is, what do we do with we keep it as a backup? What do we do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we'll do that. So it'll be an honorable mention at the worst. But, oh man, I don't know. See, I enjoy the subtlety of Mike's.
Yeah.
It's not too busy. But then I love the busyness of Kenny's.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Hold on.
Here we go.
I got a nickel.
Hey.
Okay. Heads for Kenny, tails for Mikey.
Sounds good.
Sound good? All right. Call it.
Tails.
Can you see it?
Oh, man. There it
Looks
is.
like we got a winner. Let me know how much that international shipping is, Craig. Because Kenny, my bud, you win.
You win.
Congratulations. Oh man,
that was tough. It was.
That was a lot tougher than I thought it was gonna be.
Yep.
I hate decision making. That's why always grab Thomas Jefferson. Oh boy.
Good old Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, that was tough.
That was. Oh my god.
I didn't think it was gonna be as hard as it was.
Me either. Not at all. Like holy shit. But all right. If you've made it this far, thank you. This has been the Geek Den Halloween special. Happy Halloween, Craig.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. Congratulations to Kenny once again.
You are the winner, sir.
Yep. We love you, buddy.
Yep.
We'll get that out to you ASAP.
Yep. I'll just take out a second mortgage and, you know.
Yeah, right.
All right.
All right.
That's it.
Till next time.